When I told people that I was going to do a TEDx talk, everyone around me reacted as if I had announced I'm going to be the next Prime Minister. Yes, even my parents, they told me, TEDx? Beta, do not tell anything controversial, okay? My friends told me, Rida, don't go viral for any wrong reason. But that's funny though, because that's exactly why I am here. I've always been that kind of student who raised hands at wrong times, asked the questions no one ever wanted to hear, and exposed the fact that half the rules around us are running on just because I said so energy. And honestly, if questioning things is making me a problem, then I guess I was born a beautiful problem. And since today's theme is unboxing futures, I thought it's time we unbox something people avoid the most. Any guesses? Well, the norms we follow without even thinking. And I didn't choose this topic because it sounds deep. I chose it because questioning norms is the reason I am standing here today. Most of us must have heard people tell, or let me be specific. I grew up hearing things like, this is just how things are. Do not ask too many questions. Or just follow what everyone else is doing. And for a long time, I did. But until one day, I realized something important. That the world, it does not reward obedience. It rewards awareness. There was a moment, okay, that may sound simple to most of you, but it is a little unforgettable for me. Someone older to me made a rule for me. A rule that didn't make any sense at all. A rule that was just a tradition and not logic. And for the very first time, instead of quietly accepting it, I asked, why? Why do I have to accept it? Not to disrespect or not to fight, but to understand. And the silence I got back told me something big, that these norms aren't existing because they are right. They're existing because no one has ever challenged them yet. And that was the moment I realized that if I wanted to unbox my future, then I must first unbox my thinking. And that is exactly what I'm going to speak on this stage today. Let's think about this together. How do you think we can unbox our futures when our presents are locked inside norms, traditions, expectations, and the way the things have always been? The answer is simple. Every future or every world that changed started with someone questioning a norm. Like, look, electricity, it existed for millions of years. Gravity, it existed forever. But they only became discoveries when someone said, why does this happen? Revolutions only began when someone whispered, why do we live like this? And innovations exploded when someone said, why not another way? So today, I want to talk not just about questioning norms, but about how questioning is the key to unboxing a future that is bigger, that is freer, and that is smarter than the one we have inherited. Actually, norms are like those invisible softwares that are installed in our minds. They keep running in the background and we follow them without even thinking. Norms are telling us what is right and what is wrong. Norms tells us this is what confidence looks like. Anything else is arrogance. This is the kind of dream that is realistic enough to be acceptable. This is how much you should post on social media to seem active and not an attention seeker. But here's the problem. Some norms were created for a world that no longer exists. Yet we're still using them to shape a world that has completely changed. This mismatch creates confusion, limitation, and anxiety. But we pretend like everything is fine, everything is normal. Let me tell you all something powerful. Normal is not always right. Normal is simply repeated. Because all of us are living in a generation now where information, it doubles every 12 hours. But do you look at the mindset of people? Some haven't changed in like 200 years now. We have 5G internet. But those 19th century rules of what a girl can be, still not changed. We have AI, but we still judge career based on marks and not curiosity. We talk about futures, but don't you all think that we're still held back by those expectations that were designed in past? This mismatch is dangerous. Not because norms are bad, but because we are following these norms blindly. I must agree to this. I'll be true. I question norms because I wanted a future to look like mine. Not at all a recycled version of someone else's script. And I believe that every young person deserves that freedom to unbox and choose their own future. Because unboxing futures is not at all about predicting it, but it's about creating a mindset that helps us to build it. When we question norms, three things happen. First, we stop living on an autopilot because most of us are living life like a default setting nowadays. Second, we start designing our own path. That is, when we ask why, it's often we begin to choose. But when we ask why not, that is when we begin to create. Third, we make space for innovation. Because innovation do not come from intelligence. It comes from curiosity. And what do you think curiosity begins with? Well, curiosity begins with questioning. Yes, I agree that questioning it can be a little uncomfortable because we are getting labeled as overthinkers, too rebellious, too bold, or too young to know anything. But in this time, I understood something important, that if questioning norms is making people uncomfortable, then don't you think that the answers are threatening the system they are comfortable in? Yes. And I believe that every future needs people who are willing to shake that system a little. And history is full of people who simply refuse to accept what was called normal. I'll give you an example. Malala Yousafzai, she questioned the norms of girls not being allowed to study. She asked, why can't girls go to school? In a place where questioning that norm was life-threatening, her why didn't just unbox her future, but it unboxed the future of millions of girls around the world. Now, because I gave you all the problem, let me give you a secret method I created for my own experience. And I call it the 3-question framework that helps to unbox futures and mindsets. First, always question the origin. Always ask, who created this norm and for what world? Second, always question the impact. Ask, does this help me grow or is it limiting me? Third, always question the alternative. Ask, if not this, then what? Because true changes do not happen by breaking it. True changes happen by replacing it with something better. And every future needs people who are ready to shake that system a little. And future will always belong to those who are ready to think independently, break old boxes and build new ones. And the world do not need more people who can tell yes, but they need more people who can ask why and why not. Because these two are the chisels that carves future possibilities. You do not need stage. You do not need permission. Or you do not need to be older, do not need to be ready. But you just need one thing, that is curiosity. Because curiosity is stronger than any fear inside you. So today, while you guys are leaving, do not carry my speech with you. Honestly, I'm not giving you all any homework. But just carry one tiny little annoying voice in your head that asks why at wrong times. And trust me, it's life-changing. Because next time someone tells you that this is just how things are, I hope you smile, tilt your head a little and say, okay, but who decided it? And were they even awake when they decided it? because that's the moment everything will shift. That's the moment you stop being a follower and start being that kind of person your future is actually proud of. That's the moment you stop fitting into a world and start shaping it back. And maybe one day someone will look at you and say, wow, because of you, I asked the question I was scared to ask. And honestly, if that happens, congratulations to all of you. You didn't just unbox your future, but you went ahead and ripped the whole box open. So today, before I leave, one last thing. Remember, never stop being beautifully inconvenient to these outdated norms. Thank you so much.